All right, let's have a little chat about all the things you think are slowly killing you. That morning coffee, the salt on your fries, the glorious fat in your steak. You've been told they're the enemy, right? A one-way ticket to an early grave. Well, prepare for a shock. Much of that common knowledge is pure, grade A nonsense. Today, we're your myth-busting guides through 101 things Americans are terrified of, that they really shouldn't be. 1. The egg yolk isn't a cholesterol grenade. Based on older limited evidence, we were told to fear it. But for most healthy adults, dietary cholesterol barely nudges blood levels. The real villain? Ultra-processed foods. So keep the omelet. It's packed with protein and vital nutrients. 2. That knuckle-cracking habit? It's not giving you arthritis. That satisfying pop is just nitrogen gas bubbles bursting in your joint fluid. Seriously, that's it. While it might annoy everyone around you, science says it won't ruin your joints. The only thing it's guaranteed to damage is your roommate's patience. 3. Fat-free yogurt is a sugar-coated lie. To make it taste like anything other than chalk, companies overload it with sugar, turning a healthy option into a dessert. The villain here isn't dairy fat. It's the sugar bomb hiding in plain sight. Pro tip: buy plain, full-fat Greek yogurt and add your own berries. 4. Lifting ruins joints is backward. With good form and recovery, strength training builds muscle armor, boosts bone density, and stabilizes knees and hips. The real joint killer is sitting still and pretending walking to the fridge counts as cardio. Learn form, start light, progress. 5. Unless your doctor has you on a strict plan for hypertension, the salt shaker on your table isn't the primary enemy. Your body needs sodium. The real culprit is the astronomical amount of sodium hiding in processed, packaged, and restaurant foods. Cooking at home gives you back control. 6. Microwaves use non-ionizing radiation, closer to radio than X-rays. Short cook times often preserve more vitamins than boiling them to sadness. Use a microwave-safe container, add a splash of water, cover, and stop calling your kitchen a mini reactor. It's a time machine for nutrients. 7. Let's be crystal clear. An unprocessed steak is not a processed hot dog. While you probably shouldn't eat it daily, unprocessed red meat in moderation is a powerhouse of easily absorbable iron and vitamin B12. The health scare comes from lumping it in with bacon and mystery meat sausages. 8. Napping isn't laziness. It's a biological cheat code. For most people, a short 20-minute power nap is a hard reset for the brain, proven to boost alertness, memory, and mood. The idea that you have to grind 24/7 without rest isn't a sign of strength. It's a sign of burnout waiting to happen. 9. Those frozen vegetables aren't a sad second choice. They're often nutritional VIPs. They are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, a process that locks in vitamins that so-called fresh produce loses during its week-long journey to the store shelf. They're a win for your health and your wallet. 10. Going gluten-free when you don't have celiac disease isn't an automatic health upgrade. Many gluten-free junk foods are loaded with refined starches and sugar to compensate for texture and taste. The label doesn't make it healthy. An Oreo is still an Oreo, gluten-free or not. 11. That third cup of coffee isn't a one-way ticket to a heart attack. For most people not sensitive to caffeine, coffee is an antioxidant powerhouse linked to better health outcomes. The real problem isn't the black coffee. It's the sugary, creamy concoction you turn it into that resembles a liquid dessert. 12. The idea that running automatically kills your knees is a myth often spread by people who hate running. Done with proper form and progression, it strengthens the muscles and bones around the joint. The real culprits for knee pain: weak hips, bad shoes, and doing too much too soon. 13. Think the potato is a nutritional zero? Think again. A baked potato, skin on, is loaded with more potassium than a banana and plenty of vitamin C. The potato isn't the villain. The villain is the deep fryer it's thrown into, or the avalanche of cheese and bacon bits it's buried under. 14. Saunas aren't cooking you. For most healthy adults, short sessions improve circulation, relaxation, even sleep. Respect heat, hydrate, skip alcohol, and leave if dizzy. Think spa, not stunt. Used sensibly, it's a wellness dial, not a dare. 15. Tap water. In many US cities is heavily tested under EPA rules and often perfectly safe. Bottled water falls under different, sometimes looser standards. Check your local report, use a filter if you want, and stop paying extra for plastic plus marketing. 16. Artificial sweeteners within FDA acceptable daily intakes are considered safe for most people and don't spike blood sugar. The trap? Zero sugar as a license to inhale ultra-processed snacks. Use them as a tool, not a hall pass. Labels still matter. 17. Rest days aren't weakness. They're where the gains happen. Muscles adapt during sleep, protein, and hydration, not during your last ugly rep. Skip recovery and your speed-running injury and burnout. Program rest like sets, planned, non-negotiable, productive. 18. Eating carbs at night won't magically make you fat. Your body doesn't have a curfew for metabolizing food. What matters is your total calorie intake over 24 hours. The myth survives because late-night carbs are often chips, ice cream, and pizza, not a sensible portion of brown rice. 19. Worried your Bluetooth headphones are frying your brain? The non-ionizing radiation they emit is incredibly weak, far weaker than your cell phone. You get more radiation exposure from a sunny day. The biggest health risk from your AirPods is blasting music loud enough to cause hearing damage. 20. You've been told to ditch butter for margarine for your heart's sake. That was advice from an era when margarine was loaded with industrial trans fats. Real butter, used in moderation, is a simple, natural fat. The real enemy was always the highly processed substitute, not the original. 21. The dark chocolate bar in your pantry isn't just candy. It can be a smart treat. Choose high cocoa, low sugar bars for flavonols and antioxidants. Keep portions small and enjoy the flavor. It's an upgrade from candy, so long as it's quality chocolate, not a sugar brick in disguise. 22. Admit it. You still do that old-school static stretching before a workout. Stop. Stretching cold muscles can actually increase your risk of injury. The modern, science-backed approach is a dynamic warm-up. Think leg swings and arm circles to get blood flowing. Save the long, static holds for after. 23. The idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day was a marketing slogan, not a scientific law. For many people, skipping it, a form of intermittent fasting, works just fine. What truly matters is the overall quality and quantity of your nutrition throughout the entire day. 24. Whole fruit isn't candy in costume. For most adults, fiber and water slow sugar absorption and keep you full. The outlier is juice and heavy smoothies that strip fiber and pack calories. Eat fruit, sip juice sparingly, and let the fiber do the work. Your blood sugar will be calmer. 25. Canned fish gets a bad rap, but it's a nutritional powerhouse. Canned salmon and sardines are cheap, shelf-stable, and loaded with the same heart-healthy omega-3s as their expensive fresh counterparts. The only thing unhealthy about it is the irrational snobbery that keeps you from eating it. 26. Calling nuts. Fattening misses the point entirely. A pre-portioned handful is a powerhouse of healthy fats, fiber, and protein that crushes hunger. The real villain? That giant tub of honey-roasted salted nuts you shovel by the cup. Portion draws the line between smart snack and stealth calorie bomb. 27. Your mom was wrong. Rain doesn't give you a cold. Colds are caused by viruses, period. Being chilled can stress immunity, but the virus must be present. The real culprit is shared indoor air and other people's germs, not the weather. Dress for comfort, not mythical viral shields. 28. That diet soda isn't dissolving your insides. Panic comes from mixing correlation with causation. Is it health food? No. But is one can smarter than the 40-gram sugar bomb it replaces? For most, yes. Use within FDA ADI, and remember, it doesn't cancel the fries or the milkshake. 29. Heard soy gives you man boobs? That myth mangles phytoestrogens. very weak plant compounds. You'd need unrealistic amounts of tofu and edamame for issues. Context matters. Overall diet patterns do. Soy is a plant protein, not a hormone shot, and it fits most balanced plates just fine. 30. Think carbonated water leaches calcium from bones? Complete myth. Plain seltzer is simply water with gas and hydrates just the same. Note: acidic flavored bubbles can bother enamel. Sip with meals. The real bone thieves are sugary sodas replacing milk or yogurt. Your bubbly water is fine. 31. Let's talk starvation mode. Skipping a meal or fasting a day won't flip a metabolic off switch or make every calorie stick. Meaningful slowdown shows after prolonged, severe deficits. Your body is resilient. It won't panic because you missed lunch. Hit protein, sleep, hydration, then carry on. 32. The idea that antiperspirant causes cancer lacks good evidence. Major groups, including the National Cancer Institute, report no conclusive link between aluminum and breast cancer. Bigger win. Follow screening guidelines and talk to your clinician. The risk isn't deodorant, it's skipping real checkups. 33. Swallowing gum won't trigger a 7-year digestive saga. Your body can't digest the base, but it moves along and exits within days. Rarely, lots of gum plus constipation in kids can clump, so don't make it a habit. It's indigestible, not permanent, and definitely not lodging forever. 34. Reaching for fat-free dressing feels healthy. It's not. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. Your body needs fat to absorb them. A spoon of olive oil dressing, avocado, or nuts unlocks the salad's nutrients. Fat-free dressings lock them in jail. Real fats hand you the key. 35. Reading in dim light won't make you blind. It can cause temporary eye strain, headaches, and fatigue as your eyes work harder to focus. There's no evidence of permanent damage. Fix the setup. Brighter lamp, bigger font, timed breaks. Tears or gel for dryness. Not panic, just better lighting. 36. Sleeping by your phone isn't giving you a brain tumor. The non-ionizing radiation is extremely low. Real hazards. Blue light wrecking sleep and alerts baiting you to doom scroll till 2 a.m. Use night shift and do not disturb. Charge it across the room and protect your sleep. 37. That detox tea is marketing, not medicine. Your liver and kidneys already run elite detox. These products are often pricey, unregulated laxatives or diuretics that risk dehydration and electrolyte issues. Want to detox? Drink water, eat fiber, sleep well. Your organs handle the rest. 38. White rice isn't poison. Brown has more fiber, yes, but white rice is a staple, digestible and reliable energy for millions. The problem is mountains of rice drowned in sugary sauce with no protein or vegetables. Pair a fist-size portion with protein and veg, and you're set. 39. 8 glasses a day is a guideline, not gospel. Hydration depends on activity, climate, and body size, and foods add water too. Use simple cues. Drink when thirsty and aim for pale yellow urine. Athletes and hot days need more. The goal is steady hydration, not a stopwatch. 40. Taking a day off from, well, everything isn't failure. Hustle culture calls idling a moral crime. Real rest, no doom scrolling, just guilt-free downtime, prevents burnout and refuels creativity. Call it maintenance, not moral weakness. The reset that keeps the engine from seizing tomorrow. 41. Peanut butter isn't just candy in a jar. Natural PB, peanuts and salt, brings protein and healthy fats that keep you full. Watch for added sugars and stabilizers in big-name jars. Oil separation is normal. Stir and go. If the ingredient list reads like dessert, pick a simpler one. 42. You can't tone a muscle. That's a marketing term, not a physiological one. Muscle can only grow or shrink. The toned look you're after is a combination of building some muscle and reducing overall body fat. The villain isn't your workout. It's the myth of spot-reducing fat with endless crunches. 43. That old rule about waiting 30 minutes to swim after eating? A total myth. Digestion diverts some blood, but not enough to sideline your limbs. Real water safety risks are alcohol, fatigue, and overestimating your skills, not the sandwich you just ate. Swim with caution, not superstition. 44. Think heavier sweat means more fat burned? Nope. Sweat is your body's cooling system, mostly water and electrolytes. You're dropping water weight that returns when you rehydrate. Track effort with pace, heart rate, or RPE, and stay consistent. The puddle size isn't the progress meter. 45. Let's talk GMOs. They aren't frankenfoods. Multiple independent reviews from reputable scientific organizations find genetically engineered foods as safe as conventional ones. The real issue is marketing that uses non-GMO to imply a health edge that often isn't there. Judge by overall nutrition, not labels. 46. Freaking out about public toilet seats? Skip it. Many microbes that worry people don't persist well on cold, hard surfaces. Bigger risks are high-touch areas like flush buttons and door handles. Wash hands with soap for 20 seconds. The seat isn't the threat. Poor hygiene is. 47. Canned beans get a bad rap for being processed and salty. They're simply cooked beans. A quick rinse can significantly cut the sodium. Cheap, convenient fiber and protein win. The real villain is baked beans loaded with sugar. Choose no salt added when possible and season to taste. 48. Muscle soreness after a workout isn't a badge of honor. DOMS just means you challenge tissue in a new way and doesn't reliably track growth. Chasing extreme soreness isn't a program. It raises injury risk. Prioritize progressive overload, recovery, and form. Consistency beats bravado. 49. The idea that nightshade vegetables like tomatoes and peppers cause inflammation is overblown for most people. Unless you have a specific sensitivity or autoimmune condition, these veggies are packed with antioxidants and nutrients. The real inflammatory culprits are ultra-processed foods, sugar, and stress. 50. Think non-stick pans are unsafe by default? Concerns centered on older chemistries like PFOA, which are no longer standard in US manufacturing. Modern non-stick is fine for kitchen use when handled correctly. Avoid extreme overheating, don't preheat empty, and skip metal utensils that scratch. Scrambled eggs approved. 51. Full-fat cheese isn't the artery-clogging demon it was made out to be. It's a fantastic source of calcium and protein. The fat in cheese has a more neutral effect on cholesterol than once believed. The real issue is portion control. A few slices are fine, an entire block is a problem. 52. Worried shrimp will spike your cholesterol? For most people, dietary cholesterol has limited impact on blood levels, similar to the egg update. Shrimp is lean, high protein, and fine when not deep-fried or buried in butter. Exceptions exist, e.g., familial hypercholesterolemia, so follow your clinician's advice. 53. You were told sitting too close to the TV would ruin your eyes. False. Like reading in dim light, it can cause temporary eye strain and headaches, but it won't cause permanent damage. The real danger from screens today isn't distance. It's the sheer number of hours we spend staring at them without a break. 54. Skipping a shower for a day won't turn you into a walking biohazard. Your skin has a natural microbiome that overwashing can disrupt. Unless you're visibly dirty or just finished an intense workout, a day off from soaping up isn't a health crisis. It might even be good for your skin. 55. Feed a cold, starve a fever is folklore. When you're ill, your body needs energy and, above all, fluids and electrolytes. Eat if you're hungry, rest and hydrate steadily. This is general information, not medical advice. Seek care if symptoms are severe, persistent, or dehydration sets in. 56. Pasta isn't a guaranteed gut expander. It's a staple food for a reason. It's a cheap, effective energy source. The real villain is the portion size of a family of 4 and the vat of sugary, cream-based sauce you drown it in. A fist-sized serving with lean protein and vegetables is a balanced meal, not a dietary crime. 57. Chasing exactly 8 hours of sleep is a trap. Sleep quality beats sheer quantity. 7 hours of deep, uninterrupted rest is better than 9 hours of tossing and turning. The real enemy isn't hitting a magic number. It's an inconsistent sleep schedule and staring at your phone in bed until midnight. 58. Think you're winning by swapping sugar for honey or maple syrup? Think again. Your body metabolizes them almost identically. While they have trace minerals, they're still sugar. The health halo is the real villain, convincing you to use twice as much. Use them for their flavor, not their fictional health benefits. 59. The motto "no pain, no gain" is terrible advice. There's a big difference between normal muscle fatigue and sharp, shooting injury pain. Pushing through real pain isn't hardcore. It's a fast track to setbacks. The real villain is ego. Listen to signals, adjust, and train for longevity. 60. Your daily multivitamin isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card for a bad diet. For most adults without specific deficiencies, benefits are limited. Food still wins for nutrient absorption. Use supplements to fill documented gaps, not to erase a highly processed menu. When in doubt, ask your clinician. 61. Panicked about BPA in plastic containers? Many major brands are now BPA-free. Simple rule. Only microwave containers clearly labeled microwave safe and avoid high heat or damaged plastic. That's the risk reducer. The issue isn't all plastic stubborn bad. It's using the wrong item the wrong way. 62. Pork got a bad rap for being fatty. Modern pork tenderloin is now as lean as a skinless chicken breast and packed with protein and B vitamins. The real health threat isn't the pork chop, it's the processed bacon and sausages it gets lumped in with. As always, distinguish between the whole food and the junk food. 63. That 5-second rule for dropped food? Bacteria don't own a stopwatch. They transfer to food almost instantly. The real variables are the surface's cleanliness and the food's moisture. A dry cracker on a clean floor is one thing. A slice of melon on a city sidewalk is another. When in doubt, just throw it out. 64. Taking vitamin C when you feel a cold coming on won't cure you. While some evidence suggests it might slightly shorten a cold's duration if taken consistently before you get sick, it's not a magic bullet. The real villains are the hundreds of cold viruses that your immune system has to fight the old-fashioned way. 65. You don't have to do hours of cardio to lose fat. In fact, strength training is arguably more important. Building muscle increases your resting metabolism, meaning you burn more calories around the clock. The myth is that you can just jog off a bad diet without building any strength. 66. Coconut oil isn't a miracle food. It was praised, then demonized, but the truth is in the middle. It's a highly saturated fat, and its health benefits are wildly overstated. It's fine for cooking in moderation, but the idea that you should be adding spoonfuls to your coffee is pure marketing hype. 67. Hand sanitizer is a good backup, not a replacement for soap and water. Sanitizer kills germs, but it doesn't physically remove dirt and grime like a good hand washing does. The real problem is relying on a squirt of alcohol gel, when what you really need is a 20-second scrub at the sink. 68. The word natural on a food label is one of the most meaningless terms in marketing. It has no strict legal definition from the FDA. It can still be loaded with sugar, sodium, and processed ingredients. The real villain is the marketing that tricks you into thinking natural automatically means healthy. 69. Afraid of your phone's germs? Worry more about your keyboard. Office keyboards can harbor plenty of bacteria from constant touch. The fix is boring and effective. Wipe devices regularly, wash hands, and avoid snacking over the keys. New tech isn't the hazard. Old, uncleaned gear is. 70. A small, sensible snack before bed won't wreck sleep or diet. Going to bed starving can keep you awake. The myth survives because late-night snacks are often pints of ice cream, not yogurt or a handful of almonds. A light planned snack is fine. The problem is mindless grazing. 71. That bag of frozen peas on your sprained ankle isn't a magic fix. Ice can numb early pain, but extended icing may slow blood flow that supports repair. Bigger risk? Total immobilization. Gentle, early movement, as advised by your clinician or athletic trainer, often helps recovery for most healthy adults. 72. Is dairy an inflammatory monster? For most people without a true allergy or intolerance, it's not. Plain yogurt and milk are nutrient-dense. The real villain is the company dairy keeps, the sugar in ice cream, flavored milks, and sweetened yogurts. Distinguish the food from the dessert. 73. The clean eating obsession can backfire. It's a vague, unregulated label that easily breeds food anxiety, rigid rules, and nutrient gaps. The villain isn't a single ingredient, it's the guilt and moral scoring of your plate. Aim for balance and flexibility, not purity contests. 74. Think hand-washing dishes is cleaner? Usually not. Dishwashers use water hotter than hands can tolerate, helping sanitize. The quieter risk is that damp kitchen sponge that rarely dries. Let the machine work, and replace or sanitize sponges regularly for basic kitchen hygiene. 75. Worried about canned tomatoes and acidity? Modern cans use BPA-free linings. Canned tomatoes are a cheap, antioxidant-rich staple. The real trap is many jarred pasta sauces that can rival soft drinks in added sugar. Read labels, season your own sauce, and keep the tomatoes. 76. That fat-burning zone on the treadmill is misleading. While you burn a higher percentage of calories from fat at a lower intensity, you burn more total calories, and thus more total fat, at a higher intensity. The real villain is thinking a slow, leisurely stroll is a magic fat loss workout. 77. Being told "don't be angry" is terrible life advice. Anger is a normal, valid emotion that signals a problem or boundary violation. The real villain is suppressing it until it explodes or letting it curdle into chronic resentment. Acknowledge the signal, then you can address the cause. 78. Iceberg lettuce isn't just crunchy water. While it's no kale, it still provides hydration, vitamin K, and some fiber. It's a great crisp base for other, more nutrient-dense foods. The real villain is the half cup of creamy, sugary ranch, dressing you drown it in. It's a vehicle, not a void. 79. Worried about sleeping with a fan on? That's a myth. It circulates air, creates cooling white noise, and can improve sleep quality for many. It doesn't cause illness. The real villain is the dust and pollen it might kick up if you haven't cleaned its blades since you bought it. 80. Worried aluminum foil leaches dangerous amounts into food? Evidence suggests any transfer is minimal and within established safety limits. Focus on the meal itself. Ultra-processed, high-sodium dishes are the real concern. Use foil as intended and cook real food. Your scrambled packets are fine. 81. Is your mind wandering again? Good. Daydreaming isn't a sign of laziness. Research shows it's crucial for creativity, problem-solving, and planning for the future. The real villain is the pressure to be 100% focused and productive every single second of the day. It's your brain's creative mode, not its off switch. 82. You don't need to fear reheating leftovers. You need to fear cooling them improperly. The danger, especially with foods like rice, isn't the microwave. It's leaving them on the counter for hours, letting bacteria multiply. The real villain is bad food safety. Fridge fast and reheat thoroughly. 83. Still doing those long, static toe touches before a workout? That's outdated. Holding a stretch on cold muscles can actually hinder performance and increase injury risk. The real villain is going from 0 to 100 with no preparation. Warm up with dynamic movements. Save the long holds for your cooldown. 84. Calling yourself selfish for setting boundaries is a trap. It's not selfishness, it's self-preservation, and it's essential for your mental health. The real villain is the burnout that comes from chronic people-pleasing and saying yes to everything. You have to secure your own oxygen mask first. 85. Your parents lied. Eating bread crusts won't make your hair curly. It was a clever trick to stop you from wasting food. The crust does have a bit more fiber and antioxidants from the baking process, but zero magical hair curling properties. The real villain here? Wasting perfectly good food. 86. Fruit juice isn't fruit. It's the sugar and water part with the fiber removed. Without fiber, that sugar absorbs fast. The issue isn't the orange. It's the processing that turns it into a sweet drink. Eat whole fruit for fiber and fullness. Treat juice as an occasional flavor, not a staple. 87. That organic cookie is still a cookie. The label refers to farming methods, not nutritional content. Organic sugar is still sugar. Organic white flour is still white flour. The real villain is the health halo, tricking your brain into thinking you can eat the whole box without consequences. 88. The cheat day mindset often backfires. It frames food as good versus bad and leads to cycles of rigid restriction followed by loss of control. The real problem is all or nothing thinking. Better play, include foods you enjoy in reasonable portions regularly, so nothing needs a cheat. 89. Think watching TV rots your brain? Not necessarily. It depends on what you're watching and why. A well-made documentary or a show you discuss with friends is active engagement. The real villain is the mindless, passive, multi-hour scroll that replaces movement, sleep, and human connection. 90. Agave nectar wasn't a halo. It was marketing. It can be very high in fructose, so it still added sugar. The smarter take: use small amounts for taste, not for health. Focus on overall sugar intake from all sources, labels included, instead of swapping one syrup for another. 91. That pop from cracking your back or neck isn't bones shattering. It's gas releasing from joint fluid. For most people, occasional painless popping is harmless. If there's discomfort, stop and see a qualified clinician. Skip forceful neck self-manipulation. Regular movement and mobility work are safer wins. 92. Failing isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of trying. The fear of failure keeps you from taking the risks necessary for growth. The real villain is the highlight reel of social media that makes you believe everyone else succeeds effortlessly on their first try. Failure is just data collection for your next attempt. 93. Seed oils are not the devil incarnate. The panic lumps everything from cold-pressed flax oil to the industrial soybean oil in a deep fryer together. The real villain is the ultra-processed junk food that these oils are often found in. Context and the overall dietary pattern matter more than one single ingredient. 94. Video games aren't just a brain-melting waste of time. For many, they improve problem-solving skills, reaction time, and even provide a vital social outlet. The real villain is excess. Neglecting your health, work, and relationships for any hobby is the problem, not the hobby itself. 95. Canned soup gets called a lazy meal, but it isn't all bad. It's cheap and hydrating. The main drawback is often very high sodium, though many brands now offer low sodium options. Read labels, add frozen veggies or beans, and you've got a decent emergency meal, not a disaster. 96. Taking a break at work doesn't make you a slacker. It makes you more effective. The human brain can't maintain intense focus for hours on end. Short, scheduled breaks are proven to restore attention and prevent burnout. The real villain is the toxic hustle culture that equates constant activity with productivity. 97. Frozen fruit is often nutritionally superior to fresh. It's picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, locking in vitamins and antioxidants. The fresh berries you buy might have been sitting in a truck for a week, losing nutrients daily. The real villain is the food snobbery that ignores science. 98. Saying, "I don't know," doesn't make you look stupid. It makes you look honest and secure. It's a sign of intellectual humility. The real villain is the ego that forces you to fake it, spreading misinformation and preventing you from actually learning the answer. It's the smartest phrase you can learn to use. 99. The anabolic window isn't a 30-minute panic. You don't need to chug a shake the second you rack the weights. Hitting daily protein and total calories matters far more. Post-workout protein within a couple of hours is convenient, not mandatory. Consistency beats stopwatch nutrition. 100. Gluten-free, is a medical necessity for some, but a health halo for many others. For those without celiac disease or a true sensitivity, gluten isn't inherently bad. The real villain is often the ultra-processed food matrix that gluten happens to be a part of. Don't blame the protein for the sins of the junk food. 101. And finally, the feeling that you're not doing enough is unhealthy. The pressure to optimize every second of your life, the perfect workout, the perfect diet, the perfect side hustle, is a recipe for anxiety. The real villain is the moving goalpost of comparison. Sometimes, good enough is perfectly healthy. Your move. Which unhealthy rule are you brave enough to retire today, and which one you'll fight me over? Name both in the comments. If this killed even one useless food fear, smash like. Subscribe now and never fall for fake health rules again.